Time for my 143rd John Carpenter game. Wants to be a Millionaire, the Australian Family Picture Edition for the DVD.
Select either the adult or junior questions here. Okay, you've chosen to answer the adult questions. There are 15 of them between you and $1 million. Let's get you up to the first milestone as quickly as possible. Here's the first question for $100.
Something sold at auction is set to go under the axe, hammer, chisel, saw. That behind the hammer.
A correct answer to kick off with. Well done. Take a look at question 2. It's for $200.
Okay. Replay, what makes the heart grow fonder? Absence, beauty, romance, a few drinks. That'd be absence.
Excellent. That's the right answer. The next question is worth $300. Here it comes.
Okay. A place where ships stop for supplies, passengers, or repair is called a port of visit, call, dock, drop. That'd be a port of call. And when I say a question, my mind goes straight to portcullis. Even though it's completely unrelated, it kind of helps out this one.
Okay, the next question is for $500. Take a look.
Okay. Which participant led the syndicate that won the 1983 America's Cup? Kerry Packer, John Elliott, Alan Bond, Robert Murdoch. Thanks a lot, Alan Bond. You just ended our 132-year stranglehold of America's Cup.
You are one question away from your first milestone. Get this right, and you'll be guaranteed $1,000.
Cl is the symbol of which chemical element? Cobalt, calcium, chlorine, carbon. That'd be chlorine.
That's good. It's the right answer. Great. You are guaranteed a check for $1,000, but I don't want you to give up just yet. Let's shake things up a bit now by introducing a few pictures into the questions. A brand new experience for this special Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You might as well play the next question. It's worth $2,000. Who is this actor who died in 2004? Sir Peter Ustinov, Tony Randall, Christopher Reeve.
That'd be Sir Peter Ustinov. And the only one bunch I know who died in 2004 was Ron Brenner. I believe Christopher Reeve passed away in 2003, so I'm not too familiar with Tony Randall.
It's worth $4,000. You don't have to play, but here comes the question. How many years did Rip Van Winkle sleep? 10, 20, 30,
That'd be 20 years.
Correct. Very well done. The next question is worth $8,000, but you'll drop $3,000 if you get it wrong. Here it comes. These are the designs chosen for the various euro coins of which country? Italy, Spain, Greece.
That'd be Italy, and I actually have a collection of euro coins. Actually, I have in my collection. I think I have to contact the euro. I think I'm missing. I don't think I have Germany actually. I think Germany is one of the ones I have. I think I have. I think I have. I don't think I have Greece as well.
In which year did the Titanic sink? 1908, 1910, 1912,
1912.
You're doing very well. It's another correct answer. Okay, this is where you can guarantee yourself $32,000. Of course, if you get it wrong, you'll drop back to just $1,000. Take as long as you need. Here comes the question. Farsi is the official language of which country? Iran, Iraq, Yemen.
That'd be Iran.
Congratulations.
No, Iraq is Arabic, so.
Very, very well. Fantastic. I can now write you out a check for $32,000 guaranteed. It's picture questions all the way now. You might as well have a go at question number 11. For $64,000, you've got nothing to lose, and here it comes.
Okay.
This British-based Australian Peter Porter achieved his reputation in which field? Design, poetry, medicine.
That'd be a poetry.
Fantastic. That's the correct answer. This question is worth $125,000. There's no time limit. Here it comes. Which of these films did this American not direct? The Age of Innocence, Casino, Heat.
That'd be Heat, which was Michael Mann, not Martin Scorsese.
Fantastic. That's the correct answer. Right, you've done brilliantly so far. The next question is number 13 out of 15. It is worth $250,000. We're talking about some huge sums of money here, $250,000. So make sure you take your time and think carefully before you answer. Who is this former champion Australian athlete? Ron Clark, Robert De Castella, Herb Elliott, John
That'd be a John Lundy.
No problems with that answer. It's correct.
Yeah, Clark and Elliott was the 1,500 meters, Landy was the mile, and then Costello was the marathon.
Okay, you are now just 2 questions away from becoming a virtual millionaire. If you get this question wrong, you will drop all the way back to $32,000. You're playing for serious amounts of money now, so be very, very careful. Here comes question number 14.
Okay.
This distinguished Australian cartoonist is also an accomplished what? Pianist, poet, sculptor, singer.
Rest in peace, Michael Loynick. Rest in peace. Yeah, passed away.
That is the right answer.
I think a couple months ago, Michael Loynick passed away. As for this one, because Roman Coliseum's takeout, so 1 in 16 odds. I'll say for this one. It'd be a picture of Theodore Roosevelt, which would be the USA. I usually, when I give Michael Loynick as the image, I often get Theodore Roosevelt as the answer. Theodore Roosevelt's next image, which for me as an American is by far one of the easiest top prize questions in the game, outside the second president from the Junior Edition game. Again, don't fault them for trying to test Australians and Brits, so. But anyways.
This Australian film director calls himself Baz, but he was born with what first name? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
It'd be Mark Baz Luhrmann. And all of the names you're wondering are biblical names.
You had $500,000 and you risked it to go for $1 million. I can tell you, it's the right answer! Congratulations, you are a virtual millionaire. You played a magnificent game and answered all 15 questions correctly. Well done. Very well done, and thanks for playing the family picture edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, it's hard that these two games in particular are getting very close together, actually. We've done 147 of the first edition and 143 of the Australian Family Picture Edition games, and these are 1-2 in terms of the DVD games I've done. Again, I've often said this many times before, but the Australian games, in my opinion, are easier than the British counterparts, because native questions aren't that tough, and I would say there's not that many native questions in there compared to the British counterparts, although I will maintain the UK PS1 PC game is easier than the Australian edition PS1 game, so, as well as the Game Boy Advance game. That being said, thanks for watching.